Hello guys, welcome back to Pause and welcome back to Clapboard Studios. So today we're doing something a little bit different. This is not a build episode, but this is going to be a walking tour of the entire park so far. Now, we did one of these videos in Hysteria Valley a couple of weeks ago, and I think it was quite good to get a gist of how the park looks from the guest perspective. We'll jump on a few rides and just generally have a look around at some of the details that we've put in this park. But don't worry, this park is nowhere near finished. We will get back to the dark ride, the horror ride, and also the rapids ride. So don't worry, we're not finished. It's just a progress tour. So let's jump in. So first of all, we've obviously got our entrance area just here, which is our main area. A lot of this was based on movie studios that are around the world, so your Universal Studios and that kind of thing. It's very loosely based on that. So that's what we've got going on just here. So I've gone for a lot of sort of foliage around the area just to make the area look quite nice, and then we've got the main entrance structure just in the centre. So that's what we've done. So moving on into the park itself, underneath the main archway we've got the information booths, which would be our ticket booths, and also some ATMs, and that sort of makes up this entrance archway. So we'll move on into the park itself. Like I say, past the entranceway, we've got some of these signs and just generally the amenities around this area, and then we come into our sort of main courtyard. So you're first greeted with this lovely water fountain in the middle, using the Planet Coaster sort of logo, but that kind of makes up the Clapboard Studios logo for the park as well. So over this side, we've got a few facade buildings, just making up a little bit of the main street, a bank and a camera supply store, and then the Hollywood Tour ride over there, which we'll have a better look at in a second. And over this side, we've got some toilets just down this way, which just link around this side over here, and then this building here is our county hall, which again is just a facade, and it's just a little building that I thought looked quite nice and we put together a while ago. Next up over here we've got Studio 1, which is our well, in the grand scheme of things would be your main gift shop for the park entrance, so props, clothing, food, drinks, souvenirs. In reality, for the game, we've just got a lot of food options in here, using a big billboard on the wall, which is kind of the brand which we go through, and this also uses quite a lot of glass pieces, so it's quite a modern building, but also fits quite well with the style. So back over this way, we've got this main stretch down here with the Backlot tram tour, which kind of makes up the main element of the park. So that's what, again, we'll come to in a moment. So first of all, let's head over this way, check out the supply store, which again is more food and drink. And then over this way we've got the first ride you get to. So this is a Hollywood Tour. This is the journey through the movies, and it's the very first ride that we built in this park. So it's a 10-minute wait, so let's jump in. I mean, I've got a fast pass, so yeah, let's walk through all these. Excuse me, sorry guys, excuse me, sorry folks, sorry, excuse me. Here we are. Right, so hot set. Right, let's jump on the ride and yeah, have a look. Right, so there we go. That's a very brief look at that ride. Well, I can't even call it. What's it called? Studio tour or something. what is it? Hollywood tour, there we go. For some reason all the billboards in there have stopped working, but you get the general gist of it. But there was a lot of random sort of movie billboards that were just in there around the ride. So anyway, that's the Hollywood tour. It's back over this way to the main plaza area, and over here we've got the grand stage, which houses the brand new show Gary's Adventure. So if we jump in and have a look at the grand stage. So again, this is a little show venue that we've made relatively recently in the game, just to get a little bit of an entertainment area in the park. A few shops, but yeah, generally that is just a stage area. So we head over to this direction, past the toilets, and then we sort of get into our horror themed area. So there's a few bits of props, a few bits of theming here and there. I still need to sort out the theme this building up here, but that's again something we're going to finish off when we get to the end of this ride. Over here we've got a very little small little gulpy stand just to the right, and then this comes up to one of our big dark rides of the park, which is Bloodsoak Manor, the ride. So this is a Tower of Terror style ride that is currently under construction. We've got a nice little facade outside. We've done quite a bit of work on this to make it look really good. Currently we've got this first queue scene in, and then I've started work on the actual ride itself. So if you have a sneak around this corner, you'll see it's very much a work in progress. So yeah, that's something we will finish off down the line. So I'm not going to show a POV of that one today because it's still very much under construction, but we will continue on this way. And there is another ride up here, which is our Spin Ferno, which is a flat ride, which we've got here, which is covered by a lot of fire, a lot of rock work, some lava pits, and I think it's worked really well. This one looks really good. So this was something again we did relatively recently, and yeah, it turned out quite nicely. Let's jump up on a rock and have a better look. There we go. Spin Ferno. Wonderful. Now we do have expansion space over this way of the park, but for now that is the end of this side. But there is, like I said, plenty of room around the back. So let's head back up this way and go down back to the centre of the park. And it brings us back to the central plaza. Okay, so here we've got some toilets on this side and a Street Fox coffee on this side. So just to give us some little amenities around the way. And then it comes to our Backlot tram tour. This is our sort of main central hub of the park. Oh, another 10-minute wait, that's fine. So what we did in here is we put loads of random fake movie props around the ride with different signage explaining what movie they are from. So we've got loads of different props as we go around this queue line from various different movie franchises, and different props that you might see in movies. And then this brings us to our tram tour. Now there's still I think I still need to do a bit of work on this. I don't think I ever actually finished the audio. But let's jump on, let's have a little ride and just try and remember what it looks like, basically. Right, so we're off in our tram tour. So we start here on the right hand side with the car lot, where there's just a load of movie prop cars from various different made up movies. Then we go through the boat lot, which looks at again some boats from various different movies. Again, these are quite common, these kind of rides. You get these sort of little showpieces. The general idea with this one is there are 3 main scenes of the ride, interspersed with little odd bits and pieces like this on the right, where there's just little props from various made-up movies. And then the 3 main scenes is where the ride actually stops and some kind of scene plays out. So the first one here was, I think it was called Escape from the Dunes or something like that, which was... it basically becomes like a adventure style ride, adventure style movie, using a lot of the adventure props and theming around. That yeah, gives you the impression that you're in a kind of like a deserty kind of area. Then it comes around this way into the actual show scene. If I can just pull out so we can have a look. And there's a little bit of a explosion, and oh no, it all goes on fire. Oh dear. So yeah, that's the first scene that we've got there. So coming around this way, and we have A little shark attack scene just on the right hand side here. Again, it's just a random movie prop from whatever movie we said, which we'll look on the side, I can't remember. Shark Attack 2. There we go, that's Finn, the robot. And he's just there. Next up, the big scene here is from Cops 5, The City, so everyone's favourite movie. So we've used a lot of these sort of street pieces and a lot of the props actually that came with studios in this scene. So if we zoom out, we'll be able to watch this scene unfold. Oh dear. So yeah, there we go. That's pretty much the scene. Then it all resets, and yeah. So it's not the most exciting, but you know, it works. So then we move out of the sort of street area, and this takes us back through some more movie props from different movies, cars, tanks, buses, that kind of things. So again, these mostly are from Cops 5, but other movies in here as well. Again, they're not real movies, I've just made them up. Here we move into our sort of next scene of the ride, which is Apocalypto, which is our sort of destroyed area. Again, using a lot of the kind of destroyed pieces, old rocks, abandoned cars and that kind of thing. And this main set piece is a brilliant one that was actually found on the workshop, as most of the stuff in this ride was. And this is how this ride plays out. Again, a lot more fire and explosions, and yeah, everything's being attacked. It looks a lot better in the dark, but you know, you get the general idea. So that's how that scene plays out. Again, past all these abandoned buildings. I think it turned out really well, this scene. Again, the general idea of this park is that each of these scenes is from a movie that you would recognise in the real world. I just wanted it to be quite fantasy. I didn't want to make it very much an IP based. The only ones that we have an IP based is the Back to the Future stuff, and that's generally because we have that in the game. So I didn't want to make any other movies as part of this. So next we've got Lockjaw's Revenge, which is a sort of pirate area. We've made a little pirate village. There's a bit of a pirate battle that happens on the lake just over here. And yeah, this kind of just caps off the ride before you head back into the station. Past a few more props, and that brings us back in. So yeah, that is the Backlot tour. See you in the movies. Okay, so there we go. We're back in the station, and we're heading back through here to the exit into the gift shop, studio store. Come quickly nip through here, and we get back to our central hub. So that's that side of the park and the central area done at the Backlot tour. Now let's head over to this side. So over here it takes us into our sort of Back to the Future area. Now the first thing you'll see over this side is our big recreation of the clock tower taken from the movies. We spent a lot of time on this. It basically acts as the main facade for the area. So if we go around the front, and you'll see it from the guest perspective, there's the lovely DeLorean sat there in front. I'm really proud of this. I think it came out really well, and I tried to make it as in a homage to the original, and I think it worked out really nice. So this kind of makes up the facade for the Back to the Future ride, which is over that way. But before we get to that, over this direction, we've got the DeLorean racers. So we'll just head through here. And this we based on Back to the Future 3. So the sort of Western Back to the Future. And we made a little go-kart track using the little DeLoreans. So what we made is little Hill Valley building recreations. These are again based on actual real buildings from the movie. So there was a Hill Valley festival going on during the movie. The barn here, again, based on it. The name is based on the movie. We come through, and we've got the train there, which is quite prominent from the movie. And the actual track itself blasts through the barn. So we spent a bit of work on this making sure this looks really nice and suits. So you come through the barn like this, out the other side, and there we go. There's a nice advert for Back to the Future on Netflix. I don't know if it is, we just made a little mock-up. And then this comes down into the station. So it's a very little filler ride, but it works quite well in the area. So yeah, that's the Back to the Future go-karts, DeLorean Racers. So now let's move into the Back to the Future coaster. So again, welcome to Hill Valley, drive carefully. A lot of nods to the movie, well, the movies I should say. The queue line just meanders around, and then we get into Doc's apartment, in his house, and this is his workshop. So in here there's loads of random sci-fi stuff going on, random bits and pieces that he's collected over the years, and let's take a ride on the coaster. There we go, so that brings us back to the station from the Back to the Future roller coaster, which again, it worked out quite well. I was going for a kind of rock and roller coaster, the Revenge of the Mummy style ride with that one. So the theming inside obviously wasn't meant to be amazing, but I think it worked out quite well. So this brings us back around to the station. A few more random little buildings in here, just to cap off the facade of the show building really. And that brings us back into the front of the clock tower just here, which kind of makes up our big photo point. And this brings us back to our Back to the Future area. Now, over this way, we've got currently a little pond area. This is still a work in progress up here. We've got the little hot dog squad, and you can just see in the distance the rapids just there. And that's the ride that we're currently working on. So let's jump out of Tegicam for a second and head over, and I'll show you roughly what we've got so far. So again, this is, like I say, it is a work in progress. But this is a rapids ride that we've started building here in the game, and this is going for a sort of jungle adventure style look. So let's jump on the ride so far and just yeah, see how it's getting on. So we start here through the Hippo Lagoon. The main aim for this ride was to try and make it quite immersive and make it look like it's a natural sort of rapids through nature, which is why we've used the rocks to sort of disguise the trough. Now I do need to come back and put some more of the different coloured rocks back on here, as I did do it in one of the videos as you've probably seen, but I actually lost that footage in a crash, so I do need to come back and finish that off. Then we move through into the next scene here, which is quite an open kind of oasis cavern kind of area, where there's a boat in the distance that's obviously been attacked by something, but what? And then we see this nasty little thing coming into view. And then here we go again, it is attacked just there. So then that brings us up into our mysterious cave structure that we started building in the last episode. Again, this works better in the dark, but I'm just going to show you it in the daylight so you can get a good grasp of the theming pieces we've put in. It still works quite well. We've gone for very much sort of an abandoned cave type feeling in here, as you can tell. A few more vines, random set pieces, just to give the impression that nature's sort of taken over this area. Over here we've got an animatronic scorpion that attacks you as you go past. And then we come through here into the drop itself, which is shrouded in mystery, as you can see just here. So as you approach, the fire eyes light up on the skull, and then you head down into the lava drop. And this brings us into our lava caverns, which we started building in the last episode. So we've pretty much got the last corner to do and finish off the station, and then this ride is pretty much there. So that's our Rapids ride. We still need a name for this, and we still need to figure out what ride it's based upon, but that is pretty much nearing completion. One more episode and we'll get this last corner in. So all in all, that is pretty much our park. That is Clapboard Studios. Here's a nice overview of it, and I'm quite happy with it. I think it's turned out really well. Like I said, we've got 2 rides that we need to finish off, which is the Rapids, which we'll finish off in the next episode. Then we're going to jump back over and finish off the horror drop towers over here, and that'll cap off that area nicely. And then that'll give us pretty much, let's have a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attractions in this park, including the show venue just down here. And as you can see from the map itself, we've still got plenty of space for expansion. All the space around the back. I've got a whole area here and a whole side over there as well, if we do want to expand this park out even more. So that's at Clapboard Studios at the moment, guys. I just wanted to do this nice little walking tour and just general look around the ride. It's been a while since we've had a full update of the whole park, really, and there's probably a lot of people who've been watching these updates who have missed the first couple of episodes and never really seen what we're actually going for and what rides are in this park. So there it is, there's the overview, and that is Clapboard Studios. So thank you guys ever so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, as always, don't forget to give us a like down below. And if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of our content. We'll be jumping back into this park very soon to finish off the Rapids and expand the park even further. So thank you guys ever so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!